In this lesson, you will learn to read a mountain landscape carefully and connect what you see with how people and water are linked to it. Look across the wide mountain scene. Some land rises sharply, some dips between high sides, paths bend along slopes, and people are using the landscape in different ways. The picture gives us clues, and our job is to learn how to read them. A mountain is high land with steep slopes and peaks or ridges. The image shows that we use height, slope, and top shape together rather than height alone. Notice how the clues work together. A mountain has high land and steep slopes. Peaks or ridges help describe the upper shape. One clue alone can mislead us, so mountain identification uses several visible features together. Height, steepness, and upper shape provide stronger evidence than height by itself. That gives us a safer way to identify landforms. Mountain evidence uses more than height alone. Slope and surface shape matter too. Use all three clues in the diagram. What three visible features help identify a mountain? The evidence comes together like this: high land, steep slopes, and peaks or ridges. The diagram shows all three clues on the same landform. Next, we will separate three mountain shape words: peak, range, and valley. A peak is a high point, a range is a connected chain or group of mountains, and a valley is lower land between higher sides. The same landscape lets us see all three relationships. Keep the scale of each word in mind. Peak, range, and valley describe different terrain features. One is a point, one is a group, and one is lower land. Peak, range, and valley work at different spatial scales. A peak marks one high point, a range describes connected mountains, and a valley is recognized as lower land between higher sides. The picture becomes clearer when each word has one job. A peak is not the same as a range or valley. Each term matches a different visible relationship. Trace the landscape from point to group to low ground. Which term names a high point, which names connected mountains, and which names lower land between higher sides? Match each clue to its proper term. Peak names a high point, range names connected mountains, and valley names lower land between higher sides. Each term matches a different visible part of the terrain. Next, we will follow how snow and ice stored in mountains can connect with river sources. Mountains can store snow and ice, and water from mountain areas can gather into streams that begin rivers. The image also shows exposed rock, so snow cover is not universal. Follow the water from high ground downward. Mountains can store snow and ice and source rivers. The river connection begins with water gathering downslope. Water stored high in mountain areas can move downslope and gather into smaller flows that join. This helps explain why mountains can be sources of many rivers without implying that every mountain is snow-covered. The joining lines show the important link. Small mountain flows can join into a river source. The image traces that connection step by step. Use the top-to-bottom water path. How does the image show mountains acting as stores of snow and ice and as sources of rivers? Read the chain from the upper slope downward. Snow and ice are stored high on the mountain, and smaller water flows descend and join into a river beginning. The image connects stored water with the start of a larger flow. Next, we will see how altitude and slope can affect temperature, travel, and settlement. Altitude means height above sea level. In the image, higher altitude connects with cooler conditions, while a steep, winding route shows transport difficulty and the settlement becomes thinner. Read the height and slope clues together. Altitude and slope shape mountain conditions and access. They help explain cooling, travel difficulty, and settlement patterns. Higher altitude is generally cooler, while steep slopes can force longer or winding routes. Together, these conditions can help explain why settlement is often thinner in difficult mountain terrain. The links are broad patterns, not rigid rules. Steep slopes can make mountain travel more difficult. Altitude and access can also influence settlement patterns. Use the arrow, route, and house pattern together. How do altitude and slope connect with cooler conditions, transport difficulty, and thinner settlement in the image? Follow each clue to its effect. Higher altitude connects with cooler conditions, while steep slopes make routes more difficult and can help explain thinner settlement. The image shows these as linked broad patterns. Next, we will examine how people make a living in mountain areas through terrace farming, herding, forestry, and tourism. Mountain livelihoods can include terrace farming, herding, forestry, and tourism. Terrace farming uses stepped fields on slopes, and all these activities need care for the mountain environment. The landscape supports more than one kind of work. Mountain livelihoods include farming, herding, forestry, and tourism. Terrace farming is the stepped field example in the image. People adapt work to different parts of mountain terrain rather than avoiding mountains completely. Terrace farming, herding, forestry, and tourism can support livelihoods, and responsible use helps protect the environment they depend on. The shared band gives the bigger message. Mountain livelihoods depend on responsible environmental use. Work and care need to stay connected. Use the 4 labeled activity zones. Which 4 mountain livelihoods are shown, and what common care principle connects them? The landscape gives us 4 examples and 1 shared rule. Terrace farming, herding, forestry, and tourism are shown, and all should be carried out with care for the mountain environment. The bottom band connects the 4 activities. Next, we will use this evidence to correct 2 common mountain misconceptions. People can live and work in mountain areas, and mountains are not all snow-covered. The 2 panels correct these misconceptions with visible settlement, livelihood, and partial snow evidence. Evidence can repair a sweeping claim. Mountain life is possible, and snow is not universal. The panels show why both absolute claims fail. Absolute claims fail when visible evidence shows exceptions. Mountain settlements and livelihoods show that people can live there, while exposed mountain surfaces show that snow cover is not universal. Look for words that make a claim too absolute. Geographic evidence can correct all or none claims. Observed exceptions matter. Use 1 piece of evidence from each panel. What evidence corrects the claims that no one can live in mountains and that all mountains are snow-covered? The 2 panels give a direct correction. Settlements and livelihoods show that people can live in mountains, while exposed mountain surfaces show that snow cover is not universal. Each claim is corrected by visible evidence. Next, we will combine mountain shape, water, altitude, slope, and livelihood clues in 1 evidence-based task. Use several clues together: mountain shape, water, altitude, access, and life. A strong explanation connects visible evidence instead of depending on 1 feature. Now the separate ideas can work as 1 system. A strong mountain explanation combines several clues. Shape, water, altitude, access, and life can support 1 conclusion. A complete explanation moves from observation to connection. Shape identifies the mountain terrain, water clues show river beginnings, altitude and slope explain conditions and access, and settlement or livelihood clues show human adaptation. The final rule is about evidence, not memorizing labels. Connect observations before drawing a conclusion. Several clues make the explanation stronger. Choose at least 3 clue groups from the board. How would you use shape, water, altitude, access, and life clues to explain this mountain landscape? Bring the evidence into 1 connected explanation. The landscape shows high steep mountain terrain with peak, range, and valley clues. Water gathers from high mountain areas. Altitude and slope connect with cooler conditions and harder travel, and settlement and livelihoods show that people adapt to mountain environments. The answer combines several visible clues rather than relying on 1. You are ready to use mountain evidence to explain mountain landscapes and mountain life.